Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea. Today is Friday, May 9th, and I believe we have some really, really good tea in store for you today. So, shout out to, I just wanted to shout out to the Chat Mosa team because now if you come to auntiederek.com, you see a much more polished look. So it looks like we're getting official. You see links to your favorite uh podcast platforms, whether that be Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Audible, iHeartRadio. We on all of them, baby. Like Miguel said, we international, baby. So yeah, check us out. Look, I love the way the new page looks. So again, shout out to the Chat Mosta team, and thank you to the Chat Mosta team for even allowing me to host this show on this platform. And you can access the platform at any time at auntiederek.com. And we also have a show email that's auntie at auntiederek.com. So again, please email us. We would love to hear your feedback, any suggestions, any tea that you have, any personal knowledge that you have on the tea that we talk about. I want to see it all. So email us at auntie at auntiederek.com. So let's get started with the May Mayhem. So, like Chill suggested at the beginning of May, unfortunately Chill is not able to make my lovely co-host is not available for today's show. But shout out to her anyway. I know she's here in spirit. But she suggested that we would do something called May Mayhem, where we just kind of highlight somebody who has been known to make good trouble in society. So I'm gonna hey Beezus. I'm actually going to talk about someone who did just that. And honestly, I feel like we need more from what I read, we need more white men like him. For real, for real. And it happens to be his birthday today. So happy heavenly birthday. So today we're gonna get talk about John Brown. And I think a lot of people need to know about him because again, I feel like we need more white people like him that need to be anti-slavery. So, born in Torrington, Connecticut, John Brown belonged to a devout family with extreme anti slavery views. He married twice and fathered 20 children. So that dingling was busy, honey. The expanding family moved with Brown throughout his travels, residing in Ohio, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and New York. Brown failed at several business ventures before declaring bankruptcy in 1842. Still, he was able to support the abolitionist cause by becoming a conductor on the Underground Railroad and by establishing the League of uh, Gileadites, an organization established to help runaway slaves escape to Canada. In 1849, Brown moved to the free black farming community of North Elba, New York. At the age of 55, Brown moved with his sons to Kansas Territory. In response to the sacking of Lawrence, Kansas, John Brown led a small band of men to Pottawatomie Creek on May 24th of 1856. The men dragged 5 unarmed men and boys believed to be slavery proponents from their homes and brutally murdered them. Afterwards, Brown raided Missouri, freeing 11 slaves and killing the slave owner. Following the events in Kansas, Brown spent 2.5 years traveling throughout New England, raising money to bring his anti slavery war to the South. In 1859, John Brown, under the alias Isaac Smith, rented the Kennedy farmhouse 4 miles north of Harper's Ferry, Virginia, now West Virginia. At the farm, Brown trained his 21-man army and planned their capture of the federal arsenal at Harper's Ferry. Part of the plan included part of the plan included providing slaves in the area with weapons of pikes and rifles. Brown believed that these armed slaves would then join his army and free even more slaves as they fanned southward along the Appalachian Mountains. If the plan worked, it would strike terror in the hearts of the slave owners. On October 16th, 1859, John Brown and his men raided the federal arsenal. Unfortunately for Brown, nothing went as planned. Slaves living in the area did not join the raid. Local militia and the United States Marines under Robert E. Lee put down the raid, and most of John Brown's men were either killed or captured, including 2 of his sons. Ironically, the first man killed during the raid was Hayward Shepard, a free black man working with the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. Despite being seriously wounded, Brown was tried quickly and found guilty of murder, inciting slave insurrection, and treason against the state of Virginia. Upon his hearing, upon hearing his sentence, Brown said, "If it is deemed necessary that I should forfeit my life for the furtherance of the ends of justice and mingle my blood further with blood of my children and with the blood of millions in this slave country whose rights are disregarded by wicked, cruel, and unjust enactments, I submit. So let it be done." Brown told the court that he had hoped to carry out his plans without snapping of a gun on either side. But Brown's vision of ending slavery was marred by the deaths of innocent civilians, both in Kansas and at Harper's Ferry. The nation was divided over his actions. Many abolitionists called him a hero. Slave owners called him a base villain. People on both sides of the fence denounced Brown's use of violence. John Brown was hanged on December 2nd, 1859. Before he died, Brown issued these final, seemingly prophetic words in a note he handed to his jailer. It says, Charleston, Virginia, December 2nd of 1859. I, John Brown, am now quite certain that the crimes of this guilty land will never be purged away, but with blood. I had, as I now think, vainly flattered myself that without very much bloodshed, it might be done. Within 1 year, the first Southern state would secede from the Union. So yeah, it is his birthday today. He was very anti-slavery. He was ready to die about the shit. And he trained, but then I remember reading. So I'm paraphrasing, but I've read something that said he was like I don't want to say mentally ill, but it said his views were that way because he was like an extreme religious some or other, like his religion made him think he was God or something like that, and that's why I don't know something, but or maybe they just saying that about him to kind of just put doubt on his fight, against slavery. So who knows? But anyway, it was his birthday today. If he was born in 1800, he would be how old today? Child, my math is off. Look, I don't feel like. Let me get my Apple calculator. So 2025 minus 1800. Oh, 225. So happy 225th birthday, John Brown. Oh, thank you for putting in the chat for me, Henry. You know a bitch can't count her early in the afternoon. Oh, and I was reading this from this website from battlefields.org that gave us this biography on John Brown. So, all right. Well, again, happy birthday. Shout out to him. Thank you for your services. And we need more like you. So let's go ahead and get started with the tea horny. Like Chill would say, it's tea time. So our first story I'm sharing by way of People is just kind of an update from what we were talking about yesterday, I believe, about Miley Cyrus and her mama unfollowing her on her Instagram. So People just kind of gave us a little update about this. We won't spend too much time on this, but you see how it says Tish Cyrus breaks silence after appearing to unfollow Miley on Instagram, and we can see what she said. And People tried it because she didn't appear to unfollow her. We saw it with our own eyes. She unfollowed her. But anyway, Tish Cyrus has spoken out after she appeared to unfollow Miley Cyrus on Instagram. A fan account noted that the podcaster, who's 57, appeared to unfollow her pop star daughter on Wednesday, May 7th, hours after Billy Ray Cyrus shared an old video of Miley, who's now 32, on Instagram, seemingly alluded to him seeing her. Can't wait to see this young lady. Crazy how time flies, the achy breaky heart singer who's 63 captioned the post. However, hours after fans noticed Tish had appeared to unfollow the Flowers hitmaker, she was questioned by them. Why did you stop following Miley? One user asked. Another wondered, why did you block Miley? With a whole bunch of question marks and exclamation points. However, Tish soon addressed the situation in a comment on an Instagram post. Have no idea how that happened, but it's fixed now with a heart, she wrote in the comment section. The brief unfollow incident comes weeks after Billy Ray debuted his relationship with Elizabeth Hurley. And I don't even really need to read the rest of this. Exactly. Oh, girl. She's like, I had no idea how that happened, but it fixed that. You know how it happened, girl. You went to your daughter's page, you clicked the three-dot ellipsis, and you went unfollow. Like that's how it happened. You got in your feelings. But that's that on that, a child. So Tish said it was just a mistake. And yeah, child, this next story. I apologies in advance, y'all. I really hate talking about this man, but when I tell you Kanye West has the audacity of a mediocre white man, honey, and I guess you know, quiet as it's kept, like Funky Dineva would say, quiet as it's kept. That's kind of the goal that you really do want to have the confidence of a mediocre white man out here in these streets. But baby, this his is just kind of mixed with delusion. Why this motherfucker had a nerve, y'all. Kanye West had a nerve to send Kim a cease and desist in regards to their kids. Child, I just shared this link from TMZ. And you see where it says Kanye West fires off cease and desist to Kim Kardashian over their kids. So Kanye West says Kim Kardashian is not only exploiting their children, but he claims she left North all alone in a car while prancing around the Met Gala this week. And now he's threatening to drag her to court over all of it. The rapper's lawyer, Kathy Johnson, sent Kim's attorney, Laura Wasser, a cease and desist letter concerning the welfare and custody of Mr. West's minor children, Northwest, Saint West, Chicago West, and Psalm West. As you know, Kim and Kanye got divorced in 2021 after 7 years of marriage and 4 kids. As part of their divorce settlement, they have joint custody of the kids, and Kanye pays $200,000 a month every month in child support. In the cease and desist, Kanye claims Kim violated his rights and their divorce settlement in 3 ways. First, Kanye says Kim brought North to the Met Gala in New York City earlier this week and claims she left their 11-year-old daughter unattended in a vehicle during portions of the event. Kanye also claims Kim ignored his demands not to post images and videos of North on TikTok. Second, Kanye says Kim has denied him meaningful access to his children, which violates their custody agreement for equal parenting and decision making. Uh, Kanye notes that he has not seen Saint so far this year and has had unreasonably restricted interactions with North Chicago and Psalm. By the way, his claim about Saint, which he already made on Twitter, has been debunked, as there are pictures of him with his 3 youngest kids in Japan back in January. For his third and final point, Kanye says Kim is exploiting North for personal or commercial gain by posting online content of their daughter at public events. He says this disregards his joint custodial rights and his stated opposition to his children's public exposure. Sources connected to Kim tells us Kanye has rarely asked to see these kids at all this year, and Kim never denied him access when he does want to see them. Interestingly, Kanye's attorney says she's also repping his wife, Bianca Cesori, but it's unclear what legal stake she has in this brewing child custody battle. Child, girl. Girl. Anyway, that's that on that, child. You got this girl, you got that white girl that you married to, or are they still married? Because didn't I read somewhere that they like separated or divorced or something? I don't know. But he had her walking out here with her ass out and her Tootsie Cat all out. And you want to sit there and say that Kim is a bad influence on the kids. You fat faced fucker. Oh, honey, I can't take it. Hey, emotional support talk. Child, they said the anti-Semite is saying that. Yes, exactly. Wake that up. His goofy, fat faced ass, honey. Oh, just look like a Teddy Ruxpin damn bear that you find in a dumpster that's been sitting there for as long as I've been alive. Ugh, I can't stand that man. Anyway, enough about him. Does anybody want to add anything before we go to the next story? Oh, child. His mama needs to come collect him and drop him downstairs. Not Dumpster Ruxpin. Yes, Dumpster Ruxpin. That's been sitting there for almost 40 years. Well, child, this next story. My goodness. Tiana Taylor and Iman Shumpert. Iman said he want Tiana ass in jail. He asked the judge to put her ass in jail for 20 days, honey. So I'm sharing this link from All Hip Hop, and y'all see where it says Iman Shumpert demands jail time for Tiana Taylor over divorce drama. So Iman Shumpert demanded a Georgia judge to lock up Tiana Taylor for 20 days after accusing her of repeatedly breaking court orders in their ongoing divorce battle. In a motion filed Monday, May 5th, Shumpert requested the court impose the maximum punishment for contempt, citing multiple alleged violations by Taylor, according to documents obtained by In Touch Weekly. He claims Taylor leaked confidential details of their sealed divorce settlements to the press and verbally attacked him in front of their children. In the presence of the children, Tiana has shouted crude and inflammatory racial insults at Iman, the filing states. Such insults and criticism of Iman have caused the children to unjustly suffer stress and worry, unfairly placing the children in the self-imposed position of peacemaker between their parents. Shumpert also alleged that Taylor's behavior was maliciously intended to damage the relationship between father and child, and said her actions have hurt his reputation and violated the agreed upon confidentiality of their legal proceedings. The latest motion follows Tiana Taylor's own legal move earlier this year when she accused Iman Shumpert of leaking sealed court documents. She claimed he timed the leak to coincide with her Instagram post featuring actor Aaron Pierre after the 2025 Oscars. Taylor denied intentional leaks and said she never sought jail time for Shumpert. However, I have to file a motion to get him to leave me alone so we can go live our life in peace, she said. Both sides continue accusing each other of using the court system to gain leverage in the public eye and in their personal lives. The judge has ordered Shumpert and Taylor to appear in court and attend mediation before the next hearing. Well, clearly mediation ain't gonna work. These motherfuckers, they want to. And I'm sorry, y'all. It was the racial thing for me. Said, well, hold on. What was it that she said? It says, in the presence of the children, Tiana has shouted crude and inflammatory racial insults at Iman. So I'm guessing maybe she said something like, "Oh, he a dusty ass nigga" or something like that. I don't know. But the racial insults is killing me. I just need him to shut up and whip it out so I can see if it looks as big as it seems from those pictures. Oh my God. Well, okay. Well, yeah, he do look like he oh, for research purposes, of course, of course. Yeah, he do look like he packing allegedly. So yeah, but this is messy, honey. I knew this divorce was gonna get messy, and this is what you get, honey, trying to be fake bisexual, Tiana, allegedly. Because, honey, we all know. When I'm sorry, when I see this girl, my gaydar screams like it is loud. I don't see when she got married to him. I just didn't understand it. It looks like a stud trying to marry a man. That she very well could be fluid, but I don't. It just don't. The power of dick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got a point. You got a point there. That is, it's a very powerful thing. Well, does anybody want to add anything about Tiana Iman? And if I said his last name wrong, I don't know if it's Shumpert or Shumpert. I don't know how you say it. You know, I'm not a sports fan, but I apologize. But does anybody want to add anything about them or powerful dick before we go to the next story? All right. Well, are y'all familiar with Liev Schreiber, who famously plays Ray Donovan? So this is the kind of stuff that we need to see more of. So his daughter came out as trans, and he is very supportive of her. So I just shared this link from Entertainment Weekly. Leah Schreiber addresses daughter coming out as trans. Kai was Kai was always who Kai is what he says. So Liev Shriver is voicing his support for his daughter Kai and opening up about his experience parenting a transgender child. Kai, who's 17, never officially came out to her father and mother, King Kong star Naomi Watts, Schreiber told Variety on Thursday. Kai was always who Kai is, the star of Netflix's The Perfect Couple said. But I suppose the most profound moment was her asking her, excuse me, I suppose the most profound moment was her asking us to change her pronouns. To be honest with you, it didn't feel like that big of a deal to me, only because Kai had been so feminine for so long. Praising his daughter's strength, Schreiber called Kai such a fighter, but added that resilience is nothing without visibility. It's important that she goes, "Hey, I am trans. Look at me," he said. Gearing up for the Ally Forney Center's A Place at the Table Gala on Friday in New York City, a charitable event benefiting homeless LGBTQ youth, Schreiber expressed his solidarity with a community of people who don't have great resources, who don't always have access to help, who aren't being protected and looked after by their families. As for parenting a child who identifies trans, Schreiber said it feels like an overstep to offer prescriptive advice. He also shies away from viewing the experience as all too unique from parenting a child who identifies as cisgender. Teenagers are a headache. They're hard. It doesn't matter whether they're trans or not because you'll come out of this. But a trans teen is going to be a teen. Kai is Schreiber and Watts' second child. Their first child, Sasha, was born in 2007 and Kai followed in 2008. The couple first met at the Met Gala in 2005 and eventually ended their relationship after having been on the rocks for quite a while in 2016. Sasha began to follow in his parents' footsteps in 2016, providing the voice of a character in the live action remake of The Jungle Book. He is currently pursuing a BFA in acting at the University of Southern California Schools of Dramatic Arts. Kai, meanwhile, is signed to IMG Models. She recently made her runway debut walking for the Italian fashion house Valentino at Paris Fashion Week in 2025. "Oh my God, my heart is so full. I love you so much," she wrote over a carousel of pictures commemorating the milestone in a March Instagram post. Beyond Kai," her father commented, while Watts gushed, "Be still my beating heart. Bravo, darling. I love you so much. What a show." Schreiber will next be seen in The Whale, director Darren Aronofsky's Caught Stealing, which is scheduled for release on August 29th and stars Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz. Okay, well, you know what? I might watch just because those were some very, very kind words he said. And you know what? I love how he said it. He said, "Listen, I know my place. I don't want to overstep. Teenagers are going to be teenagers, so it doesn't matter if the teenager is trans or cis. They're going to be a teenager and they're going to do teenage things." Now, I love my daughter. My daughter has always been feminine. This was no surprise at us for us. So now we're going to call her she. So I love what him and Robert De Niro are doing. I really think it's important for men like this, men to look good for him and his daughter, right? I think they need to speak out. We need because I'm saying the trans community, honey, are under attack, which is frustrating because they're like the smallest percentage of the community. What, like they represent 1% of the child, 1% of society, what they say, and then they always being targeted. So yeah, it's nice to see a trans child's parent, someone of his status, speaking out. Both him and Robert De Niro. Well, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything? Okay, y'all. The next story, honey. This is something else, baby. So Eminem, actually, I remember his song "Stan" from his famous song, pretty much where the Stan culture comes from. Baby, Eminem actually has a real life Stan. Child, and this shit is crazy. But look, now you know how Mariah Carey feels, allegedly, allegedly. Anyway, I just shared this link from The Guardian. Eminem stalker reconvicted after third home invasion in 6 years. Y'all heard that right. Third home invasion in 6 years. Look, jump scare. Exactly. And wait till you hear how old this man is. So, a stalker who broke into Eminem's home in Michigan for a second time has been convicted of first degree home invasion and aggravated stalking. Matthew David Hughes was arrested in August of 2024 after being seen at the rapper's home in Clinton Township, a suburb in northeastern Detroit. He didn't meet bail conditions and has been jailed ever since his arrest. Eminem, real name Marshall Mathers, testified at the court hearing on Wednesday. A jury found Hughes guilty of both charges. He will be sentenced on June 17th. The 32-year-old, you heard that right, that man is 32 year the 32-year-old had previously been charged with home invasion in 2020 when he entered Eminem's Clinton Township property while the rapper was at home. Eminem said that he woke up to find Hughes standing behind him. A police officer recounted that Eminem was told by Mr. Hughes that he was there to kill him. Following a plea deal, Hughes avoided prison and was sentenced to 5 years probation in September of 2021. But he violated the terms of probation with with an unrelated assault later that year and was sentenced to a prison term. He was released on parole in May of 2024. In 2019, Hughes broke into one of Eminem's former homes in the Rochester Hills area of Detroit. He initially spoke with the new homeowner, telling them that he was looking for his brother Marshall, then later broke into a guest house on the property. He served a 90-day prison term after being convicted of breaking and entering. Uh, the case has resonances with one of Eminem's most successful and celebrated songs, Stan, about an obsessive fan who sends the rapper a series of increasingly disturbing messages. It's also the second stalking case involving a celebrity to have reached court this week. Jimmy Wayne Carwile, who's 48, was charged with stalking, vandalism, and threat of bodily harm after allegedly crashing his car through the front gate of actor Jennifer Aniston's Los Angeles home on Monday. Carwile is also accused of harassing Aniston for 2 years with messages over her voicemail, email, and social media. He appeared shirtless and wrapped in a blanket at a court hearing on Thursday. A lawyer, um, a lawyer entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Judge Keith L. Schwartz and Carwile must have a mental health assessment to determine if he can face the charges. Carwile was ordered not to have any contact with Aniston. Aniston and her legal team have not commented on the charges. You know what? This is what you get when you keep letting white men get away with shit. This man was clearly a threat, done broken into Eminem's house, said that he was there to kill him, and they were sitting there still giving that man bond. But the only reason he wasn't able to get out was because he couldn't get bond because he couldn't afford it. So you know how creepy that is to wake up and someone is standing over you. Yes, I don't even let sleep demons do that to me. Absolutely not. Exactly. This shit is crazy. So yeah. Child. That's that on that. But yeah, that's what you get. Put these damn motherfuckers into lock their asses up and throw away the key. And he looks crazy. And remember we was talking about facial asymmetry on the show yesterday. Look at that motherfucker, that 32-year-old face, honey. I can't believe that man. When I saw his mugshot, I thought he was at least 55, honey. A minimum of 55. That is a hard ass 32. Well, anyway, enough about him because his face is scaring me. Anybody want to add anything before we go to the next story? Look, a hard, dirty 32. Yes, honey. Well, this next story we won't spend too much time on because we talked about Lil Durk previously. Well, you saw how Lil Durk's dad was like going around on this media tour and stuff, trying to brush up his image, say Durk is he's this, he learned his lesson, he's doing that, he's done so much for the community, but they don't matter because they said Durk, we don't care, send your ass back to jail. So I just shared this link from All Hip Hop. Lil Durk sent back to jail after judge denies bail bid. And I'm just going to read the updated part of this. It says Lil Durk was reportedly denied bail again Thursday, May 8th, yesterday, and will remain in custody until his trial, which is scheduled to begin on October 14th. The decision comes after his legal team argued for his release, citing the prosecution's use of song lyrics and fan made posts as evidence. So, yeah, they said, nope, sorry, boo. You're going to stay in jail. So, sorry, Big Dirk. I know you're going around talking about your son and everything, but it doesn't look like it's moving anything, or moving anyone, rather. So, that's that on that. Next. Are y'all familiar? Give me some emojis or put it in the chat. Are y'all familiar with that Future song like that they've been playing on the radio? Young niggas in the selling job, is you like that? The one that has Kendrick Lamar in it. Never heard of it. Wow, y'all really don't listen to the radio. I'm telling you, because if you just put on the radio for 5 minutes, honey, that shit was on for that was one of those songs which was kind of refreshing because it wasn't a Drake song that they keep playing. Like, you know, they always put like the same 5 Drake songs in every 15-minute rotation. Anyway, I bring up that song because a legendary West Coast rapper is actually suing them over that song. We listen to good radio. Oh, no, you didn't drag me, Beezus. Well, Beezus, are you familiar with Rodney O? You know, I know you're part of that West Coast rap life. Well, anyway, I just shared this link from All Hip Hop. Rodney O sues Epic Records over Future and Metro Boomin's Like That. So Rodney O and Joe Cooley released Everlasting Bass in 1988, and more than 35 years later, Future and Metro Boomin lifted a sample of the track for their now infamous single Like That, featuring Kendrick Lamar. But according to Rodney O, Epic Records and the estate of Barry White aren't holding up its end of the bargain. Everlasting Bass contains a sample of White's 1973 single, I'm Gonna Love You Just a Little More, Baby. So on Wednesday, May 7th, Rodney announced that he had filed a lawsuit against the label, accusing them of shafting him on royalties. He wrote, "At first, I was honored to have Future, Metro, and K Dot use my classic Everlasting Bass, but they probably didn't know that the company has not lived up to the agreement. I'll do whatever it takes to stand up for me and all the pioneers in the game. Enough is enough." TMZ, however, spoke to Metro Boomin's rep and was told he did get the necessary clearances for the sample and paid him $50,000. Like That arrived in 2024 via Freebands Entertainment and Epic Records. Kendrick Lamar's verse kicked off his ongoing feud with Drake, which resulted in multiple diss tracks, 5 Grammys for Lamar, K Dot's headlining slot at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show, and Drake's legal complaint against Universal Music Group. If he walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K, Lamar rapped in the song. Think I won't drop the location? I still got PTSD, motherfuck the big three, nigga, it's just big me. With those words, Lamar sparked one of the most contentious rap battles in recent memory, culminating with Not Like Us. All Hip Hop spoke to Rodney O backstage at Red Rocks Amphitheater in Morrison, Colorado in April of 2024, not long after Like That was released. At the time, Rodney was riding high off its success. After all, it was still the number one song in the country. DJ Quick had introduced all Hip Hop to Rodney O prior to his set, and he was happy to comment on the song. "It's amazing," Rodney said, "for something I made when I was 16, 17 years old to come back and bigger than it was. Hey, I'm all in. Keep it moving. Y'all keep listening." Rodney O doesn't necessarily hold anything against Future, Metro Boomin, or Kendrick Lamar, but instead seems to blame just the label and White's estate. In the suit, he claims his writing credits were even omitted when the track was nominated for a Grammy Award last year. For those unfamiliar with Rodney O, he and Joe Cooley were signed with Egyptian lovers label Egyptian Empire. Subsequent tours included bills with MC Lyte, MWA, Kool Moe Dee, and Grandmaster Flash. Rodney O retains 50% of the rights to Everlasting Bass, meaning the Future and Metro Boomin track should have put some well-deserved money in his pockets. So, well, it looks like he's a cutthroat Spades partner. He does. But yeah, he said stop playing with him. So his problem is not with Kendrick, Metro Boomin, or Future. It's because of the label and Kendrick Lamar. They say he's saying they playing his face. They know they done sampled this man, and for the Grammy, they done sat there and omitted his name from the writing credits when they should have been in there apparently. So I don't, music is a fickle business, honey. So, but yeah, stop playing in the legends' face and give them their dues. Well, that's that on that. Anybody want to add anything before we go to the next story, honey? Well, this next story, y'all, this is kind of sad but funny at the same time, and I really hate because I'm not laughing at what this lady went through. It's just like the whole damn homie, like you anything to do no research. Anyway, so this lady is threatening to sue Meghan Markle because she says that she watched Megan's show and she saw like some bath scrub that she used, and because of the Megan bath scrub, the bath scrubs that she learned how to use from Meghan Markle, she almost burned her coochie off. So I'm sharing this link from Vibe, and it says Meghan Markle threatened with $10 million lawsuit after fan suffers burns from do-it-yourself bath salts. So Meghan Markle could be facing legal trouble after a Maryland woman, Robin Patrick, threatened to sue the Duchess of Sussex for $10 million following an adverse reaction to a bath salt recipe featured on the Netflix series With Love, Meghan. Patrick, a diabetic, claims that after watching the episode where Meghan demonstrated how to make bath salts as a gift for makeup artist Daniel Martin, she decided to recreate the DIY skincare product. Unfortunately, what was meant to be a relaxing self care moment turned into a painful and distressing experience for Patrick. In the episode, Megan combined Epsom salt, Himalayan salt, and arnica oil and lavender oil to create the bath salts, inspiring many fans to try their own version. However, shortly after using the homemade mixture, Patrick reported a series of unpleasant reactions. In an exclusive interview with RadarOnline.com, Patrick recalled, initially, I experienced a mild tingling sensation without discomfort. However, as the water level rose to cover my legs and reach my buttocks, I began to feel burning and significant discomfort in those areas. She immediately exited the tub and attempted to assess the mixture by stirring it with her hand and arm. This actually led to additional burning sensations, which prompted Patrick to apply Gold Bond lotion. Unfortunately, she said the lotion provided no relief, and she turned to lidocaine spray for some temporary pain relief. Patrick's discomfort didn't end there. That evening, while showering, I experienced intense burnings as water contacted the affected areas, which developed into ulcers, she recalled. Despite time passing by, she said the injuries haven't healed and claims that the burns are still painful and causing major discomfort. The burns are still not healed and are quite uncomfortable, she said. The others are just sore as heck to touch. Since the incident, I have endured persistent burning, discomfort, and the emergence of new blister like sores and ulcers daily. The reaction has severely impacted Patrick's daily life as she claims the burns prevent her from taking warm showers or wearing clothing over the affected areas. As someone with diabetes, Patrick said that she's now concerned about the risk of infection, sepsis, and other complications. The pain feels as though it's burning from within, she added. Despite her distress, Patrick says she's open to resolving the matter without litigation if a financial settlement can be reached. However, if her demands are not met, she intends to move forward with the lawsuit seeking at least $75,000 to cover medical expenses for treatment of the alleged injuries, as well as compensation for the pain and suffering she has endured. She is seeking the $10 million from Meghan Markle, Netflix, and Archwell Productions, the creators of the show, for their reckless disregard for public safety and to deter similar conduct in the future. Meghan's attorney, Cameron Stracher, rejected Patrick's claim, explaining that there was no foreseeable risk of injury, that Patrick ignored the instructions on the Epsom salt packaging. He wrote in the legal document, The use of Epsom salts is contradicted for individuals with diabetes, except on the advice of a physician. As your letter recognizes, a duty of care requires a foreseeable injury. It was not foreseeable that you would disregard the instructions on the Epsom salt packaging in attempting to make and use your own bath salts. For this separate reason, there can be no negligence claim against anyone involved in the production or distribution of the series. So that lawyer basically said, "Get the fuck up out of here with that bullshit." So yeah, lady, this she almost burned her coochie kitty off. Hey, my Jamaican queen. So yeah, it's you might have to. She said, but you know what? Even though you almost burned my coochie off, Megan, I am willing to reach up a financial settlement. So we won't have to. We could do this without litigation. My coochie will be just fine, even though it's taking a little bit long to heal because of your bath salts. But we can settle this without litigation. But if you don't want to settle without litigation, baby, we can do it because I'm looking for at least 75,000 for my medical expenses, and I'm going after Netflix and Megan and Archwell Productions and everybody. So, so we have a comment. We say, "Girl, dot dot dot." Exactly. Well, honey. Well, get ready to say "girl" again, honey, because this next story, Brittany Renner is talking about her man, her man, her man. So I'm about to share this Instagram clip from People Style. They caught up with them on the red carpet. It looks like they were at some kind of a basketball wives event, maybe the premiere event. I actually was watching, but I wasn't paying attention. It was more like the show was watching me. I did see like a little clip where because long story short, I was working out at the same time that the show was on. I did see a clip though where Brittany just kind of made her convert into Islam her personality, and she was just she was at a confessional. She was like, in Islam we don't do that because I'm Muslim now. I'm like, girl, we can clearly see that with the hijab you're wearing, baby. Like there was no question in our minds that you have converted to Islam. But anyway, she's saying that Kevin Gates is her quote unquote husband, and she's happy. That's her man, her man, her man. So give me 1 second. We about to watch a clip. Let me share it.
So Islam has made my life better in every single category. And like my husband says, the closer you get to God, the more you get. And literally in every category of my life, I mean, dreams happen, like miracles happen once in a while every day. So it's been really beautiful. It's changed my life for the better.
To hear that. I mean, of course, Kevin is here supporting you tonight. How does it feel to have him stand behind you? And what is it about him that you were like, he's the one for me?
His name echoes in every chamber of my heart. And I don't, it's hard to describe a love like that. All I can say is that I'm with the person that I quite literally dreamed of. And to be able to just wake up next to him and spend time with him, even to have him here behind me, it's like so surreal. I'm like, I love him. So yeah, he's just the most beautiful person inside and out that I've ever met. And I'm just so thankful that Allah blessed me with him. So Islam has made my life.
So we have a comment that said, "I rolled my eyes so hard, I think I straightened a muscle."
I know, like, first of all, she's not wearing the hijab correctly. Let's just go with that.
Ooh, well.
Okay, and number two, I just love my back. That's not how most women. No, no, go sit down, girl. Go sit down somewhere.
Exactly. And then you see her, the interviewer was so nice, honey, because he gonna say, "Well, how does it feel to have him back here supporting?" He won't support her. He was standing behind her, looking like the damn help, looking like a security
Mhm.
guard.
Behind her, not beside her, not holding her hand. Behind her.
Okay, looking side to side.
Hmm. Like he popo. Girl, go sit down. They just be abusing people religion. But Auntie, you went through the arrest with the for Tiana Taylor.
Well, I did. No one has been arrested as of yet, but Iman does want her arrested because he feels that she keep on playing games and using the court to play games. So he asked the judge to put her ass in jail for 20 days
For what?
because she keep playing, according to him, allegedly. It's on slide 5.
Oh, I know, but every time I tried to read it, it kicked me out.
Oh,
And cease and desist from who? Kanye West fired off a cease and desist to Kim Kardashian.
you see that shit, honey? Ugh.
Ugh.
Mm.
And this little daughter ain't no better. Who's John Brown? Who is that?
Oh yes, and by emotional support top said derogatory racial insults in front of the children. Right, I forgot about that. That's what Iman said that Tiana did. Oh,
Idiots.
and John Brown it was his birthday today, so he was an abolitionist,
Oh,
very anti-slavery.
okay. Okay, I know that's right.
Now our next story, honey, and we won't spend too much time on this because I kind of like saw this happening. I think we kind of all anybody with 2 eyes, even if you wear glasses, you clearly saw this coming. Summer Walker and Rico Reckless has broken up. I just shared this link from Vibe. So, Summer Walker and Rico Reckless's romance seems to have come to an end as the Still Over It singer confirms her single status in a few recent Instagram stories. While Walker kept the details of the breakup under wraps, she dropped a cryptic message a cryptic message followed by a confirmation that said it all. I like being girly and dainty. I don't like nothing taking me out of that. A meme she reposted read. She also added Beyonce's Single Ladies lyrics. All the single ladies, all the single ladies. Fans immediately took to social media after DJ Academic shared the post. One user joked, "My boy had a 10-day contract," while another predicted, "Well, she's probably going to start talking to somebody else." A third person quipped, "She changes her man more than she changes her underwear." As a fourth gave the take that she's the problem. I don't understand what that last thing meant, but okay. Walker quickly followed up with another post urging fans not to be weird, while while rumors swirled suggesting that she was dating Playboy Cardi, following photos of them together in the studio. "Y'all, I'm single, but don't be weird now, y'all," she wrote. "I can't even think about fucking with another man. I love Rico. He really is a sweet man when he wants to be. That's my pumpkin for life. Things don't just align how things just don't align how we want it because we from two different worlds. Let's move on now." She also clarified why Cardi was there, adding the caption, "Thank you, Cardi, for pulling up to add a great finishing touch to my album. You are a perfect gentleman, and your wife is so sweet and funny." So, I think I'm gonna just stop there. Look, I'm with you. We got a comment. I honestly could care less. That makes two of us, man.
I could care less. I mean, she's not even that cute.
Now, not too much on that Aries Queen now.
Mm, she ain't that cute. Got little fillers in her cheek and her lip. Whatever. And well, it's her boom boom. She can change. Man, that's how much she changed her panty. Do
Exactly.
you, baby? Do you?
Do you see this comment saying she look like Tila Tequila? I'm sorry, I was not ready. Oh God. Okay, well, y'all, enough about them. Now, this next story, y'all, this is something else. Child, and it's going to talk about addiction. So Pretty Ricky, y'all familiar with Pretty Ricky, right? You remember Pretty Ricky consisted of Pleasure P, Spectacular, Baby Blue, and Slickum. Well, Spectacular has actually just confirmed that Pretty Ricky is now a trio because Slickum has a really bad drug habit and refuses to go to rehab. So I just shared this link from Vibe, and y'all see where it says Pretty Ricky Spectacular reveals group is now a trio after this member refused rehab.
He look like he need rehab.
Yeah.
Don't we all need a little rehab?
Yeah, I'm
What's
telling you.
with these people?
I know I could sure use some. Now, and the thing about Pretty Ricky, I was actually a big fan. Now, the first album I really liked, but that second album, that On the Hotline album, bitch, honey, that was like my whole 2007, honey. The way I played that album backwards and forwards. But anyway, Spectacular Smith has revealed that Pretty Ricky will now be a trio moving forward because Slickum has refused to attend rehab for substance abuse. After BUK reunited yet again during the final stop at the 2025 Millennium Tour, the Grind With Me rapper was asked by TMZ if fans can expect the same from Pretty Ricky. Oh, 100%. We're working out deals right now. Matter of fact, we got multiple offers for a tour and they want us to headline the tour. They're talking about co headlining and there's a lot of offers on the table, the business mogul confessed. However, it won't be the quartet fans grew to love because Slickum will be noticeably absent. Born Corey Mathis, the rapper is reportedly on Heron, according to Pleasure P. They got one of my brothers on Heron, said the crooner in a video from December 2024. And I don't want to talk his business, but I miss him, and I wish I could talk to Slickum. Speck admitted that he also tried to help Mathis by finding him the top rehab in Florida to put him in, and even went to pick up and check him in personally. However, Slick made every excuse and just wouldn't go into the facility. Spectacular explained, bruh, if you don't go right now, you ain't going, and I don't believe you. He decided to walk out, and then I was like, you know what? I tried. I can't want this more than you want this for yourself. And when you want this, I'm ready for you, but I can't force it. He did share that Slick is welcome back into the group. The men are back on the road to celebrate the 20th anniversary of their debut, but not if he isn't taking it seriously. We want him to be back and taking it seriously because if we enable him, he's never going to give it up. I pray God helps him get through it. Lead singer Pleasure P was part of the Millennium Tour with his new group RSVP alongside Ray J, Sammy, and Bobby V. However, Pretty Ricky is reportedly set to release new music, and they have completed an album. No further details have been shared. So, and you know what? I totally forgot all about that RSVPs. They still doing that with Ray J and Sammy and Bobby V. They need to kick. See, the thing about Pleasure P, right? In my opinion, he got a cute little voice for around the house. But when you beside singers such as like Sammy and Bobby V, him and Ray J just kind of like, why are y'all there? Like, why are y'all there? Like, call some singers. But you know what? Okay, look, whatever it takes to bring R&B back is what I say. But yeah,
The
this
way
that's
how you sound like my dear right there. Bring back some singers.
singers, honey. I listen to singers. Like Whitney says, I very rarely listen to people who cannot sing. I mean, unless you Sierra. I do love Sierra. But yeah. This Pretty Ricky is gonna be a trio now if Slickum don't get it together. But he Spectacular actually he just kind of learned, you know, that's how you need to handle addiction. As much as you love somebody going through an addiction of, especially if it's like a substance, you can't want them to not be on that substance more than they want it. They have to want, and you stressing yourself out trying to spending all your time and effort trying to get them to rehab when their heart is not in it. He told you his heart was not in it, and you still got mad. So it's you just kind of gotta. I know it's hard, but addiction is a really tough thing.
It's hard. It's a hard road to go down, especially if
Mhm.
there's some psychological issue behind the addiction. You
Yep.
know. So you gotta. Addiction is hard. I take my hat off to people who beat it. Addiction is hard.
Same here. And I know people personally who have, well, are still going through addictions. And I know people who have beaten their addictions, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy journey for them. So that's that on that. Shout out to the people with addictions. I am on, this is, we listen and we don't judge unless you coming up in my house stealing because of your addiction. Then I'm going to judge you then. But other than that, I know your journey is difficult and I stand with you.
And I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Well, I don't know about that, girl. You ain't beating no crackhead, and they don't run out of energy. So I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
I don't know if you see that video where somebody tried to stick their hand in somebody's door and they whacked it with a like a baseball bat. I'm about to
Mm-hmm.
send that to you. That's what I mean by whooping them.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Let them come in the house when they don't expect you. Knock the shit out of them with that bat.
yeah. You ain't beating no crackhead. They don't run out of energy. Quote of the day. Well, it's true. Well, so I got two more stories left. Now, so do y'all remember back in 2016? What was that? Was that Beyonce's formation tour? And her dance captain, her fiance got on stage and proposed to her in the middle of the concert. Y'all remember that? Like, give me some emojis for y'all remember or vaguely. So y'all okay? Well, she was not a fan of that, and she's talking about it. So
Wait,
I just
wait,
shared
wait,
this.
wait, wait, wait. Repeat that again. What happened?
So yeah, this her dance captain was proposed to during the tour, and the dance captain did not like that. So I just shared this link from People, and y'all see where it says Beyonce's former dancer Ashley Everett says her 2016 on-stage proposal was the beginning of the end and end of her relationship, and she was livid. So Beyonce's former dance captain Ashley Everett is getting candid about the aftermath of her viral on-stage proposal during the singer's Formation World Tour. Everett, who was captured on video getting proposed to by then boyfriend and fellow dancer John Silver during Beyonce's performance of Single Ladies, opened up on the Mic'd Up on a Tuesday podcast with Dexter Carr about what happened after the proposal. The proposal was the beginning of the end, baby. Everett admitted before explaining that was a proposal done for him, not me. You think it was a grand gesture for his ego more than anything? Host Dexter Carr asked. Yeah, and literally as soon as it happened, he was like, "We went viral." Yes, she replied. It wasn't planned. We didn't talk about it. I was looking at another dancer, and I was like, "Who allowed this? Who allowed this? Why didn't you tell me? Why is he up here?" I was livid. I was livid now looking back. Also, if you watch back, I never said yes. I go, she nods her head. In the viral proposal video taken during the St. Louis, Missouri tour stop in 2016, the Cuffit singer, who's 43, could be seen halting the music before saying that she thought she needed to bring someone on stage. Beyonce then gave the microphone to Silver, who went over to Everett and held her hand. So, baby, I know that you didn't think that I expressed my love to you in front of everybody. So I felt like what better time now to do it in front of 1,000 fans. So Ashley Everett, will you marry me? He said as he got down on one knee. Everett could be seen nodding her head, and the couple shared a hug. Silver then went over to hug Beyonce and returned to the microphone so she could finish singing Single Ladies. Silver and Everett had been together for 6 years prior to the onstage engagement. However, 3 years later, the professional dancer found herself single again. In 2019, she opened up to Essence magazine about how she really felt about the proposal. I'm pretty low key, so I don't need big gestures all the time, she told the outlet. I'm happy with one little rose on Valentine's Day, not a house filled with flowers. The big grand gesture I felt wasn't necessarily for me. As time went on, she said that she found more and more excuses to not plan their wedding, adding that she eventually had to look in the mirror and ask myself why. Do I really want to be married or do I even want to marry him? Am I really happy? Do I need to work on me before I take this leap? She recalled questioning. She added, then of course, with work and travel comes distance, which means you have to work harder for communication. We could go a day or two without talking, and I just felt like we weren't on the same page anymore. I did start to think, am I letting people down? Beyonce gave me such a huge platform for our engagement, but things happen and life happens, she concluded. I wouldn't give a damn how Beyonce felt about it, honey. I wouldn't like that shit either. What you mean, honey? This okay, first of all, this is not about us. This is about Beyonce. And I feel like when men and some you can I'm willing to be proved wrong, but I feel like when men do things like that, it is for their ego. Like when you try to propose to somebody in front of like, especially like a scene like that. Like you already know this is a dance captain who takes her job very serious. You stop the middle of the show. You get Beyonce to stop the middle of her show to do this proposal, and mm, look, I said, and I would be the bitch to say no. Exactly. So I'm reading the comments. I take it they never discussed how she would like to be proposed to. Yep. Not all the way she wanted it. She expects him to know better. Um Now you sad, and now she's seeing irreplaceable. A mess. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a conversation that we had. Like y'all, that's something that when y'all start dating, they've been together for 6 years. So I'm kind of with her. He should know better. He kind of knows that wasn't a it let's just like put the information that we know. You are Beyonce's dance captain. If you're going to be Beyonce's dance captain, then that means that you are one of the baddest heifers on the floor. Beyonce does not just give that title to anybody. So that means you got to be ready to, and I'm sure this girl has shown her and proven herself. That's why she was dance captain. So for you to take away from her moment to do that, yeah, I see why she was mad. And me and y'all need to be mindful of that. So I would have been single after the show. Okay, it wouldn't have taken me 3 years, honey. That was a red flag for me. Well, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything about not being proposed to in the middle of a damn concert in front of thousands of people before we go to our last story? Baby, this last story, y'all about to gag. Because I know I gagged. I was like, what the fuck? So even after his death, baby, OJ Simpson can't even rest in peace. They said this man had a connection to the cartel. And I'm sharing this link from Hot New Hip Hop. Was OJ Simpson connected to the drug cartels? Allegations arise after passing. Yes,
Damn.
Marcia, you heard right, honey.
Ain't he dead?
He is dead, honey. But while he was alive, he is alleged to be the connection, honey. He was the connect, honey. And I actually I feel maybe I shouldn't even be really talking about this because you never know who's listening. So I just want to put out there, I am not the news. I just read it. So yes. Um the Hall of Fame football player's life continues to be investigated after allegations arose that he may have been in connection to the cartels. A year after O.J. Simpson's death, it's investigated the NFL icon was part of a cocaine trafficking ring. Mixed up with the Colombians, O.J. Simpson's name was mentioned during reviews of case files, according to Radar 1. Simpson is accused of facilitating a drug pipeline tied to Colombian cartels. Simpson was mentioned by former associate Norman Pardo. OJ was connected to the cartels, Pardo stated. He described Simpson as a as a go-between who introduced high-level buyers to suppliers, operating as a broker in the narcotics world. He wasn't just a celebrity on the sidelines, played a role. He was like an agent for the drug market, Pardo claimed, suggesting Simpson leveraged his fame to make connections others couldn't. Though Simpson died at age 76 from prostate cancer just 4 days before Prody's arrest, investigators reportedly continue probing his potential role in the drug ring. According to Prody's mother, Kathy Belmore, Simpson remained a key focus during her son's interrogation. O.J. Simpson was the first thing they asked about, Belmore recalled. They thought this would be the case of the century because O.J. was involved. Let me go. The scope and timing of the investigation remain unclear. Law enforcement has not publicly confirmed Simpson's involvement. However, the proximity of his death to Prody's arrest and the testimony from those who close to him have reignited public interest in the dark chapters of his life. O.J. Simpson's legacy has long straddled controversy. Acquitted in the 1995 murder trial of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, he later served 9 years in prison for armed robbery and kidnapping in an unrelated case. These latest claims, if verified, would deepen the shadow already cast over his legacy. As authorities continue to investigate, questions remain about the full extent of Simpson's connection and whether this alleged drug conspiracy will ever be fully exposed. The posthumous accusations add yet another complicated layer to the legacy of a man who, in both life and death, has remained at the center of national intrigue, honey. Girl, OJ was the plug, honey. Allegedly. Allegedly.
And that's kind of hard to believe. Plug to what?
Is it hard to believe?
I mean, I could understand him getting plugged. Let me behave. You know, I don't get in heterosexual business.
Okay.
You know,
Okay, we stay out of heterosexual people business, honey. It's ghetto over there.
mm-hmm.
But
Well,
I could certainly believe this, Marcia. I don't doubt this for 1 minute. I think this is all true. Yes, especially with the way that Nicole and Ron were brutally murdered. Like, you know, the cartel is known for like brutally murdering people. You know what I'm saying? So it's not hard for me to believe that, and he uses celebrity to make those kind of connections. I wouldn't be shocked if it was true at all.
because I'm telling you, Auntie, you know these actors are they need money because I'm watching a lot of A-list actors. Omar Epps doing Zaxby's ad
Mm-hmm.
and not even tasting the damn chicken nor the sauce. That one, I'm like, all of these actors are doing like advertising. I saw one of them on T-Mobile, and I'm like, I said, damn, they ain't getting no job, or they just need the money, or I'm like, not Omar Epps out here.
They
You know,
need the money, honey. It is definitely a recession indicator. For
look,
real.
they need the money, but OJ, rest in peace.
You know what I'm seeing a lot of now? A lot of celebrities are using Cameo to, you know, kind of quick, because I think that's like one of the quickest and easiest ways for them to, you know, get like some money from fans. So they'll do a Cameo and record like a quick video telling somebody happy birthday or whatever, whatever. At the moment, the last I looked, Corey King was number one, and Corey King and Nikki Blonsky like had like a back to back thing of being on that number one spot. I don't understand how Nikki Blanca has so many fans, honey. I just don't get it. But
Who's
okay,
Nikki Blanc? Who's that?
Nikki Blanca, she played Tracy Turnblad in the Hairspray musical, the movie that came out and when was it 2007, 2007? That movie they had John Travolta playing
Yeah,
Mrs. Turn.
yeah, I know. I remember the hairspray.
Yep, ain't she the racist? Yep. Well, we don't know if she is, but we definitely know her daddy is, because her dad they all got into it with Bianca Golden. Remember from Top Model?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot which cycle Bianca was on, but yeah, her daddy was called. They attacked Bianca over some seats at, I think, at the airport, her in the Turks and Caicos or some shit. I gotta matter of fact, I can go Google it really quick and put the article up here. Let's see,
Oh,
Bianca Golden.
first of all, I ain't paying no celebrity to sit. Now, let me see. I pray Cher to sing "Happy Birthday" to you, Auntie.
Oh,
But
thank you. No, you should get 50 cents to sing me happy birthday if you really want to get a bitch wet, honey.
no,
Uh,
no, no. That's
uh,
why. No,
oh, I can't get wet? Oh, okay.
no. I can't do 50 cents. I cannot with 50 cents in his stitches mouth. You know, his mouth is holed up with stitches and threads. Got that jawline sewed up.
Who has a birthday? No, my birthday was April 5th already. It passed already. And then we have another leave your dusty coochie and man out of this podcast.
And Will was a couple of days ago. So Lord have mercy.
So, yep. And as promised, I was able to share on slide 15. This is an old article from ABC News that talks about this. And y'all see where it says hairspray star and top model spar over seats. And it was at the airport in the Turks and Caicos.
Is this a full figure girl that was on Airspray?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
She is like number one on that app.
She was, yeah.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know if she is as of now.
Oh
But she
wow.
was. It was her and Corey King from RuPaul's Drag Race, who I am a fan of. I notice a lot of people don't really care for her, especially like a bunch of black gays. They kind of see her as a c word that's not cartoon.
I know.
Um, so, but I think Corey's funny, and yeah.
I think she's funny. I know who you're talking. Tia love RuPaul. Love it. Love it. Cancel dates and event with me and her.
And speaking of RuPaul, so yeah, it just dawned on me that the All Stars is back. I believe this is All Star season 10. Let me tell you what UF words who get it now. I guess the episode becomes available at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. UF words, I get up to use the bathroom, and I check Twitter just to make sure that the world hasn't ended. And I'm already seeing spoilers about RuPaul's Drag Race. A bitch ain't even got up the damn brush and floss yet. And y'all putting spoilers about the damn first episode of August. You F word should be ashamed of yourselves. Do better. Do better. But it's kind of my fault because I knew I shouldn't have I got my ass online. But like I said, I wanted to make sure it was like maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. And I wanted to, check just to make sure the world didn't end. But and you know how much Auntie loves the gays, honey. So I follow a whole bunch of gays who happen to love RuPaul's Drag Race, and I get the enthusiasm, y'all. But damn, let a bitch wake up and pass gas and go floss and use some mouthwash or something. Like, damn, y'all just see that as what now I know exactly what the hell done happened, and I didn't want to know. Now I don't even want to watch the shit. I'm gonna go watch it, but now I don't want to watch it there because y'all done spoiled it. You F words need to be ashamed of yourselves. So that's my little rant for today.
Look, if I want to see something that I'm excited about, like, a race from Jamaica or some soccer, I don't go on Twitter. I don't go on no social media. Cause I get the race late. I wait until my race start and watch it. Then I go on social media.
Hmm. That's what I should have did. So now I know. Now that All Stars Tens is back, I just kind of know not to frequent. So you know what? No, what I usually do is mute the hashtag because yeah, y'all be trying it. Y'all really be trying it. Let's see. Now if you're wanting to watch something you have and not have it spoiled, you cannot go on Twitter. You right? I knew that, and I still took my ass on there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Cause them little heifers don't give a shit about nothing.
Auntie wants y'all to do better. I know y'all won't do better, but Auntie wants y'all to do better.
Auntie, did you watch Beetlejuice too?
I did, yeah.
Did you like it?
I didn't hate it.
It was cute.
Yeah, it was cute. It was something to watch.
Oh, okay then. It's something to watch.
Because when I saw that they had it on HBO Max, I was like, oh, okay. Because Quiet as It's Kept, I really wasn't a fan of the first movie. I thought the first movie was just weird and boring. I did love
What? I
yes, I
love
did love the series. I love the animated series Beetlejuice. When that was out, that was fun. But that movie was just I never.
You ain't like Dale.
I mean, okay, I like that part of the movie, of course, but did a Tubi watcher just say that with their lopsided chest? Yes, this Tubi watcher did, bitch. Y'all hoes could never make me hate Tubi. Oh, he says, fuck you. Oh, I love you more.
I love me some Tubi. I'm sorry.
Hello.
I love me some Tubi. Even when I know the iPhone turned the right angle ain't right, I still watch it. I just adjust my glasses or just wait for the scene to go. Look here now. Love me some Tubi.
I love it. And even before, like, before I even like knew about Tubi, I always had a thing for like low budget black movies. I just love it. That is my thing. And I remember once upon a time Amazon Prime used to have like a lot of those on there. Not as much anymore because I think they've all went over to Tubi now. But baby, once I was introduced to Tubi, I said, "Oh bitch, this is my kind of carrying on." I love that shit. And the more poor the quality of the camera and the more terrible the acting, the more I'm going to probably like it. I love that shit. I love ghetto shit. I love it.
I
So,
don't love ghetto shit.
oh, I love it.
Not why I watch TV. I think a lot of the shows are funny. I'm looking.
They
I'm
are
looking
indeed.
for the. I'm looking for the entertainment. Oh my God! Not white Catholic church singing Arabella Fonte.
Huh?
Mm, what have this world gone to, dear Jesus?
Hell.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to. Hell.
Amen.
Well, well, before
Well,
I hit send y'all on y'all merry way, and before I go and watch my stories, thank you so
I
much for
know
being here, Marcia.
I haven't been here in a while. Chris, I love you. I'm
Let's see, I
coming
have
to
say
San Francisco, Chris. I'm gonna send you the details. I'm gonna be in California first, and then San Francisco. So I'm gonna come
okay.
again. Okay.
Yes. And then we have a comment that says earlier today, a news story came out saying Bill Belichick, um, girlfriend Jordan Hudson was banned from the football facilities. UNC's athletic department about an hour ago said that it's not true. And you know what, emotional support top, I actually kind of knew it was not true. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how I know. Because you know how like when it comes to local news and stuff, they usually anything that has to do with UNC or Duke, they're gonna always talk about it. I didn't see any of that shit posted nowhere, like no articles about nothing in the News and Observer, nothing. So I was like, you mean to tell me that North Carolina publications didn't talk about this? But I did see it on like People and stuff. I was like, no, I don't think this is true. So I was actually going to talk about that, but I decided not to because I didn't think it was true. But thank you for sharing. Let's say, good show up until you mentioned your man, then it went to hell. Yeah. I love him. Well, y'all, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and sip tea with me. We will be back on Monday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can make the live show. In the meantime, thank you. You have a great weekend as well. And thank you. I hope to see
Bye.
y'all Monday. Bye, y'all.
Bye.